Hi, I'm making this video for those of you who are trying to bleach your hair and or get a white, silvery, lavender color. So first what you're going to want to do is prepare your hair. I prepared my hair about a month in advance, and what I did to do this was I tried to get my hair in the healthiest shape it could be before bleaching. So I started doing a protein treatment once a week, like a deep conditioner. It was just like the Dumb Blonde protein treatment from TIGI. And I did that once a week, and then also once a week I did an argan oil moisturizing treatment on my hair. You don't want to overdo any of the treatments or anything, but I would say once a week do both of those. And I try to leave them overnight, and it definitely improved the condition of my hair. Along with that, I used Redken's Blonde Glam shampoo and Redken's All Soft conditioner. I can definitely tell you that the All Soft conditioner is probably the best conditioner I've ever used. I did like the Ulta sale where I got the big like liter thing of it or whatever for like $14 or $15 or $13 or something like that. And I can honestly tell you it's the best thing I've ever used. I've heard great things about the shampoo as well. So check that out for sure, even if you're not going to bleach your hair, because it will definitely help your hair out. So I did that about a month in advance before I bleached it. And so if you know you want to bleach your hair, I would at least do it that a couple of weeks before, 2 months before, whatever, like as long as you can before you're like, I must bleach my hair. So then when it actually gets to bleaching, this is the tricky part, because you want to eliminate breakage and damage as much as possible. I started with like a dirty blonde hair with like highlights. It was different colors, really. It was all sorts of blonde everywhere, because I used Sun-In since like the 8th grade, and I have naturally like a mousy dark blonde light brown color, and so Sun-In actually made it like a really pretty blonde, which I know it was good, but I really wanted purple hair. So the first thing I did was I used a L'Oreal Preference color. It was like light ash blonde or something. It didn't really do much to my hair besides my roots. It turned my roots a little bit orangey, like a blondie orangey like you typically get when you first bleach darker hair. But that's about it. It didn't do too much. So then I did a packet of bleach, like one of those, like if you go to Sally's, they sell bleach in like all sorts of containers, and one, like the smallest one you can use like just a little packet of it. And I used that, but it was not enough for my hair, and it was really splotchy, and some parts were really light and some parts were kind of darker. And one thing you want to do if you're trying to get pastel hair is you need to bleach your hair completely. I tried to dye over it, over the spots that weren't completely, they were still like a light blonde, and it just did not work. So make sure that you have enough bleach first off, and make sure that your hair is completely bleached, because when I tried to dye over it, all it did was make it look even splotchier, and it made it more of a pain for me to go back and try to re-bleach those parts that weren't bleached before. So definitely when you bleach it, make sure that it's all bleached as much as possible. So yeah, so I used this, and then I used this developer, 30 vol. Now for developers, how it goes is the higher the volume, the more color it's going to take out of your hair. So like 10 vol will take out like a little bit, 20 more, 30 more, 40 more. Most people are fine with 30, only if you have really dark hair would I use 40. It's because that can be really damaging. The less volume you could use, the better. The only reason I was gonna do 20, but the only reason I did 30 was because my hair just didn't seem to be lifting with the first bleach, the first two technical, like the first time I used the L'Oreal stuff and then bleaching it, my hair just wasn't lifting how I thought it would. I thought it'd be pretty easy, but my hair just, it wasn't coming out. So I did 30 instead. I think one of my problems that I did also was I didn't wait long enough. Make sure you wait, be patient. This is gonna take time. If at all possible, wait a couple weeks in between bleachings or like at least a week or something, and like do some protein treatments and some deep conditioning in there to help solid your hair a little bit if possible. I know sometimes it's like a really ugly in between stage, but sometimes you just have to deal with it. Because one thing I've learned is I just wasn't patient, and my hair looked a mess for a really long time because of it. It will pay out in the long run if you're just patient with it. So you do about a 2-to-1 ratio with this to the bleach. Mix it up in a little plastic bowl like this that you can get Sally's with, you know, like the brushes that you get, like these brushes, you know. They're pretty cheap. You can get them pretty cheap at Sally's. These are kind of dirty, but mix it up. Apply that all over your head. Do your like lengths of your hair first, and then go to your scalp, because your scalp it'll bleach faster because of the heat of your head. So do the lengths first, then scalp. Try to get it in all the nooks and crannies. I definitely missed a couple spots and it was a pain. Really try, have a friend help you out if you're, new at it or whatever. So do that. And we rinse it out. It's probably going to be like a yellowy type color. Then you want to tone your hair. Some people make their own toner with a little bit of purple or blue dye and a lot of conditioner. I think that has more of an ability to dye your hair and also tone it, which, in my case is fine, because I didn't want just white hair. I wanted like a purpley hair. But if you just want to tone your hair, make it white. They have different toners at Sally's too. But a good toning shampoo is either the Clairol Lights or some Clairol Shimmer Lights or the generic brand. This goes on sale for like $5 at Sally's all the time. A lot of people, I think, start using the John Frieda Color Renew shampoo, Color Renew Blonde shampoo that's also purple. I don't think that works as well. I think people use it because it's more accessible, because it's like in drugstores and things, and it's cheap. It's like $5, but this is also $5, and I think this works a lot better. I've used both of them, and I'm a lot bigger fan of this one. Good to tone your hair as well. And this is also good after you've dyed your hair purple to help maintain it a little bit. If you do want to do a really light gray or really light purple or silvery color, you can leave this in for longer than the recommended amount. You can leave this in for like 20 to 30 minutes or whatever, and it will tint your hair more. But if you only leave this in for a couple minutes, lather it up, leave it for like 30 seconds to a minute, and then rinse it out, it shouldn't dye your hair. I don't recommend it completely just for dyeing, like if you're planning on dyeing your hair using just this, because it'll be a little bit patchy, I think, because when your hair is wet, it doesn't take color quite as well, like, because it just doesn't, because your hair is a slippery surface and the dye can't absorb and all that jazz. So that's the same with bleach. Don't bleach your hair, don't bleach damp hair, and I wouldn't suggest dyeing damp hair either. So if we're actually dyeing, so let's say you've bleached, you've toned, and now you want to dye your hair a pastel color. What you want to do is get that mixing bowl again and some brushes and mix up a bunch of white conditioner. Make sure it's white. I use really cheap conditioner. I just use like the Meyer Elements, like fake Garnier Fructis stuff. Make sure it's white. I tried to use like I was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's like tinted pink a little bit, it's not good. No, it really does make a difference. It really, really does. Make sure it is white. For me, my hair it made a big difference. It made a really muddy color whenever I used any sort of tint to it that is in the conditioner. So you want to use a ton of conditioner to get a little bit amount of dye. A lot of people use Manic Panic, which is good. I actually really like Manic Panic. I've used Manic Panic many a time in my life. They have two different purples, I believe. There's Ultraviolet, and then there's another purple one, and I think it's like called like Purple Passion or something. I would not go with Ultraviolet. For me, all it did was turn my hair more of a blue hue, and then when it faded, it would turn green, which is not what I was going for. I was not going for a dingy green color. So if you do end up buying it, or if they're out of Purple Passion or the other purple one, you'll be able to tell the difference in the store, because the Purple Passion is more of a red purple as opposed to a blue purple. And if they're out of the Purple Passion, you can get like some pillar box red, which is a bright red from Manic Panic, and kind of mix the two together to make your own more purpley purple from Ultraviolet, but that's kind of a pain and you don't really know what you're gonna get. So I don't suggest it. But also I started using the Enrage color in Purple Plum. So I started using this. This is good. The only thing is what I did, what you want to do is when you mix up your dye and your conditioner, make sure that this is why you want your hair white, because otherwise it'll turn different colors, but make sure that the color in the bowl is what you want on your head. What I, for some reason, thought, I'm not sure why, I thought maybe because maybe because there was a ton of conditioner in it, or like I was planning on only leaving it in like 15 minutes as opposed to like 30 or 40. I thought that it was okay if it was in the bowl, it was a little bit darker than what I wanted on my head, because I thought it would just like rinse out more, like it wouldn't, the color wouldn't stay true. No, what ended up is my hair was like neon. I'll try to show a picture or something. So in order to fix this, what I've kind of combined a couple methods. What I do is I put equal parts of dish soap. I use blue. Some people swear like green or clear works better. I use blue and it works fine. I don't think it affects the color at all. And then Head and Shoulders. There's something about anti-dandruff shampoo that supposedly strips your hair of color, so I don't recommend using it if you're trying to maintain color. I use the 2-in-1, so it has conditioner in it, which this hopeful I'd like to think that the conditioner does something for my hair. This way of stripping hair color will dry your hair out quite a bit, but I was hoping that maybe in my mind somewhere, you know, the conditioner helps a little bit. Doubt it. So put those two things equal parts, and then I put a packet of Emergency in there. I bought like a 10-pack at Family Dollar for like $4 or something like that. Mix it all up, and this is the only part that you would apply to damp hair. So I put it on damp hair, and then I left it for about an hour. You can leave it for 20 minutes, however long you want. I ended up doing it like 4 or 5 times during the day because it was that neon and that dark, and I wanted it that much lighter. So I did that a bunch of times, and it worked really well. Like every time I washed my hair, I could see the dye coming out, and it was dry as heck. But after every single wash, I would put in a really good conditioner. I would either use the All Soft, or I would use like Herbal Essences Honey on Strong, like a cheap deep conditioner. Just kind of slather that on and rinse it out, and that lightened my hair really well. Not lightened, but took out the unnatural color really well, and it faded to a really nice lavender color. The good thing about that too is often when you do pastel colors, your hair ends up splotchy because you're mixing your own dye, and if you bleach your hair is very porous at different parts, and it's affected differently at different parts, so it's going to take different color. So the good thing about the stripping is you can kind of apply it where you want. Like a lot of times my hair like will take really like extremely well like right here, and then like not as well other places, or just like really well like in this random spot. And so if I just apply this, you know, wet that area down like you know, an hour or two before I'm planning on showering, put just a little bit of that in, cover it. Oh, also cover it with a shower cap or like a grocery bag or something. You can do that while you're bleaching it. Some people say you have to. It depends. I haven't noticed a huge difference. You just don't want the bleach to dry out, because once bleach dries, it's inactive. So that's a little side note about that. So you cover that, leave it for however long, rinse it out, and yeah, your hair color will fade out. So once your hair is bleached and it's actually the color that you want, to maintain it, still continue doing the face masks, the hair masks, once to twice a week. Keep alternating protein and moisture, because your hair needs both. It needs to be strong, but it needs to be moisturized as well. A lot of times protein masks won't make your hair very soft. That's okay. It's still doing the job. Another thing that I've been liking a lot is this Fakai protein daily fortifier thing. You know, I don't use it every single day, but I'd say I'd use it the majority of times I shower. Also, what I do use every time I shower is the Moroccan argan oil stuff. I think this is for the dry and coarse hair. I think that stuff really helps. Another, shower as much as your heart wants, or more than your heart wants. So shower often, but don't wash your hair often. Wash your hair never. Minimum or maximum, you should wash your hair. The most you should wash your hair is every other day. If you're washing it every day, it's gonna get even more dry and more brittle, and it's gonna fall out. At least every other day, and then if you can go 3 days, good for you. Dry shampoo is your best friend. After bleaching, wait, like the day after you bleach or whatever, the time after you bleach, you can wait a really long time to shower because your hair is going to be so dry that you just bleached it and everything. It's going to take a while. Like whenever I do my roots or anything, it usually takes about 4 days before my hair actually gets oily. Like I said, shower in the meantime, but you can definitely avoid washing your hair for a while. Another thing is like wear a beanie, throw a beanie on your head, I don't know, ponytail, you know, whatever. Also, if your hair is really dead at some, your hair will break, your hair will fall out, your hair will be damaged. It's just the name of the game. So a lot of times for me, these are for some reason they're shorter, but I don't know, maybe they're thinner. These parts get super duper damaged for me. So I just like to go trim them. I don't ever go to a salon pretty much ever I never go to get my hair cut. Last time I got my hair cut a year and a half ago. If I ever went to a salon, they would pretty much yell at me for everything. Either go get it trimmed or have a friend trim it, or trim it yourself. Little parts that are dead, if they telltale sign, if they look like ramen noodles, just cut it off. You don't need that. You don't need that. So then what else? Okay. Oh, roots. When you're dyeing your roots, make sure that you don't go over parts that have already been bleached. That will just cause breakage when you put bleach on top of bleach. I know I said that I bleached my hair a couple of times over it. It's not a good idea. Somehow my hair survived, and I think it was because I prepared for a month in advance for my hair to be bleached. But try not to go over bleach because that will just keep weakening your hair. Your hair fades, it will turn different colors. Sometimes it'll turn like a blue, sometimes it'll turn a green, sometimes it'll turn a gray. With the Manic Panic, mine always turned blue. Sometimes in parts it starts turning blue, but mainly now it fades to like a silvery gray, which I'm a fan of. And then to try to maintain my color as long as possible, I use the purple shampoo. What I do was the minute I hop in the shower, I slather this all over my head and leave it until like right before I get out of the shower, then I rinse it out and get out. What I do is I'll put this on my scalp because actually right here is where I lose color quickest. Like right here where I guess where I play with my bangs and stuff most often. I slather this on top of my head, and then I'll put like equal amounts of this and then my conditioner together, and I'll put that on my ends and clip it up for my whole shower. And then when I'm getting out of the shower, I rinse it off, and that's that. Also, do not brush your hair while wet. When it is like damp or almost dry, use a wide tooth comb. Do not brush it, it will fall out like no other. Probably when you brush it, you'll see pieces coming off, and that's just how it is. Like I said, your hair will be damaged, but you can definitely maintain it to a certain extent and still have it look like hair, or at least attempt to feel like hair. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, let me know. I'll try to answer them. Thanks.